Welcome back to KSPK's coverage of ASC athletics. Bryant Johnson with Erika Ecsedy, freshman, All-American candidate. You're hitting 414 your freshman year. This is a little too good, too fast, tied for the team lead in home runs. How have you just gotten off to such a tremendous start?
Just having an awesome coach who's committed to you. Like, you just go in, you say, "Hey, coach, I need to work on this," and he'll gladly come and help you out.
And it is such an interesting dynamic with Dervin because he didn't recruit you. Kira Zider did from Fort Lewis. She was the assistant at Adams State when you inked a deal to become a Grizzly. Looking at that relationship, and assistant coaches leave all the time, but the assistant who recruited you, leaving to Fort Lewis, having to play Fort Lewis really early in the season, it just must have been a little overwhelming.
Yeah, well, I never actually met Kira, like, personally. I talked to her a lot on the phone. She helped me through, like, the recruiting process, what I want to ask Coach D when I meet with him. So it was kind of fun playing them. And then also on my team back home, there's 3 girls who have verbal to go to Fort Lewis as well. So I haven't heard the end of that from them. So,
You know, this is just great because it all comes around. Because Kira and I talked last year about where she was looking at, and she just said Southern California. That's the place of base that she was going after. And just explain something real quick to me. Okay, Saugus is an incorporated part of Santa Clarita, but the high school is separate. So how bizarre is it trying to explain to people even in California where you're from?
I've just started saying, you know where LA is? Go about 45 miles up that way, and that's where you'll hit it. And when you see the big amusement park, you're there.
Okay, but it's just a fascinating part of L.A. County that normally you think of, the Southland and how burgeoning and big it is. So this is almost a smaller version of some of the most distant portions of the county. So just give us an idea of what it is like playing in that part of L.A. County that really isn't as populated as the other 14 million inhabitants that live in the rest of the county.
Well, it's really fun playing in there because it's really competitive in that small area, because you also have it's separated into a couple of cities. You have Stevenson Ranch, Valencia, Saugus, Canyon Country, and Newhall, all which have really good softball teams located in there. So it helps you step your game up a lot when you're playing. Sometimes you'll play other girls who you know, so it's entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, they incorporated all those towns in 1987 and made it Santa Clarita, but they still have the neighborhoods with Saugus and everything. So it is a unique situation, but to come from L.A. County, end up at Adams State, but then to be playing as well as you are. I mean, when you're sitting there having the team photo in front of Mount Rushmore and you're out in South Dakota, what are the thoughts that are going through your head when you're looking around thinking, wow, this is my life, this is where I'm at?
I'm just grateful because a couple of years ago, I didn't think this was possible because I suffered a broken back, and doctors basically told me you're done. So I had teammates, coaches help me out, like, you know what, you could do this, just keep pushing. So just to be here and just look around and be like, wow, like, I'm here, I made it. It's just amazing.
She is Erika Ecsedy with the ASC softball program. The rehabilitation plan, it's just impossible to comprehend when you're coming back from that dramatic of an injury and you're using your back muscles and everything to do everything when you're playing softball. So at what point did you realize that it was possible to recover and be back bigger than ever?
After having a talk with my dad, like, because my dad, he's played football and he was a big football star. He suffered a bad knee injury, which also he was tackled, and it actually compound fracture to his leg, and he had a cord running from his ankle up to his knee. He's like, you can do it. Like, you just need to apply yourself. You're going to have to go through a lot of rehab, a lot of physical therapy, but it's possible. You could do it.
Did he play at Northridge when he went to college there? What was his – okay, so he played at Northridge, was connected to the Southern California sports scene, and when he was advising you on where to look at and when Adams came around, how invaluable was his advice being a former collegiate athlete?
He just told me, he's like, go with your gut, like, go where you feel comfortable, because it's your decision at this point. You get to decide where you want to go. So I felt really comfortable here. I had some offers in Illinois, some in Southern California. I'm just like, I like it here. Like, I like being in Colorado. I like how Colorado's beautiful and everything.
Erika Ecsedy, ASC softball, chatting with us. you can get away with answering this question, honestly. Just know that in advance. You know, there's no pressure here when I discuss the possibility of a home run derby contest between you and Becca Lindquist. She's a senior. She's been doing it for a while, but you're tied with her right now with 7 home runs. So if we were to arrange this, who would win?
I don't know. That's a hard one. I actually made a comment to Becca a couple of games ago over spring break. She hit a home run, which brought in 3 runs, and then I'm bat after her. And I hit one over, and I came up to her. I was like, you know what? I'm not sure if I like hitting after you because you steal all my RBIs. So I don't know. That would be a hard one. It would be interesting, though.
What conversations do you think you'll have with Coach Taylor in the offseason about where he envisions you for the next 3 years? I mean, to be so dominant as a freshman, do you feel like it's realistic to see you as a cleanup hitter for the next 4 years, for the next 3 years after this year?
I sure hope so. No, I talked to Coach D about it. He expects me to just keep stepping my game up more and more. Like, he doesn't see me as that freshman coming in scared. He expects me to step up to that level where, like, the returners are. So hopefully it goes good.
I was just thinking about this. We were talking about Mount Rushmore and being up there. If we were to do a Mount Rushmore of Adams State softball, I mean, Becca would be on there, Becca Lindquist and Caitlin Lovato. But the last 2, you've got to name 2 teammates there. The face right now, that Mount Rushmore of Adams State softball. And Durbin is ineligible. Don't suck up to him by putting him on there. Who would be the other 2 that you just have thought, you know, they really are what this program is about and just kind of defines the accomplishment?
Lizzie, definitely. And I would also have to probably say Mel or DJ, because they're like, I know I can go to Mel and talk to her about anything, and same with DJ. And DJ's like, because she's the catcher, she's the leader on the team, she sees the entire field, so I could definitely see either one of them up there.
Good. And, of course, honorable mention for everyone else so we don't get you in trouble with the rest of your teammates, right? That's what we're doing. Good. Big weekend for Erika coming up. And, of course, ASC softball is a big part of our plans on KSPK. We'll be there for the ASC bid to make the RMAC tournament, which would be April 28th and April 29th. So can I just put it in my calendar? Done deal? You're 2 games out heading into the weekend at Regis, but it's cool if I just put it in?
I think so, yeah.
They're surging 13-15 heading into the weekend, 9-11 in conference play, but a rough start has been completely flipped around, and ASC is suddenly a team to be reckoned with. With your KSPK look into ASC athletics, I'm Bryant Johnson. She is Erika Ecsedy.